Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, April 11th. Wild weather coming to the Mid-Atlantic region over the next several days. We have a major warm-up that begins in earnest in the Mid-Atlantic region on Thursday. Winds will pick up in intensity tomorrow out of the southwest and push much milder air. Temperatures should rise well up into the 60s on Thursday, and then this major warm-up will peak on Friday and Saturday. Temperatures way up in the 70s in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City on both afternoons, Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. And many spots could very well see the 80-degree mark. And then a strong backdoor cold front looks like it'll drop from the northeast to the southwest on Sunday, likely to bring much cooler conditions, especially in places like New York City on Sunday. They could reach near the 80-degree mark on Saturday afternoon and then drop into the 40s for highs on Sunday behind this backdoor cold front that could bring much cooler air all the way down into the Philadelphia and D.C. metro regions. Then a heavy rain event is likely later Sunday night into Monday. All that associated with a strong cold front moving from the more conventional direction from the west to the east. And again, a heavy rain event, possible strong thunderstorms Sunday night, Monday morning time frame. It turns much cooler behind that. And that cooler pattern that sets up early next week looks like it'll continue right into the end of the month of April. Let's start off by looking at the 5-day average 850 millibar temperature anomalies here. This is the current 5-day period, and finally, above normal region readings here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, a major warm-up begins in earnest on Thursday and peaks Friday and Saturday. Those 3 days alone will make this 5-day period much above normal. But let's push beyond this and see what happens next week. We'll now jump ahead to the 6 to 10 day average. And here we go. For next week, much colder than normal air returns to the northern plains and the Ohio Valley and right into the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, this is for the period April 16th to April 21st, the 6 to 10 day forecast. This is all using, by the way, the ensemble run of the GFS at 6Z last night. Let's go even beyond that out to days 11 to 15. And here we go. Just a lot of blue showing up here. Colder than normal conditions throughout much of the eastern two-thirds of the nation. And this is going towards the end of the month of April. And we've mentioned before that the ensemble run tends to smooth things out with time, so it's liable to end up being even colder than what this particular map is showing. Again, this is days 11 to 15. So the moral of the story here is enjoy Thursday, Friday, and Saturday's big warm-up, because it looks like it turns colder again early next week, and that colder than normal pattern will stick around right to the end of the month of April. Well, let's walk through last night's 6Z GFS surface forecast maps going forward in this wild weather period. Again, a big warm-up, then a backdoor cold front, then a heavy rain event, and then a much colder pattern over the next several days here. So first of all, for today, basically a cloudy to partly sunny type of day in the I-95 corridor. Still below normal for this time of year. Certainly still on the chilly side. High temperatures generally in the 50s. Let's push ahead here. The first thing that you notice is some shower activity starts to form basically to the northern part of the Mid-Atlantic region. And then as we get into Thursday morning, a warm front extends from this Great Lakes low pressure system into the Mid-Atlantic region. It certainly can form some showers north of the Mason-Dixon line on Thursday. The winds will pick up. Notice the pressure gradient here, rather steep, tightening up here. And winds will pick up out of the southwest and start to push milder air into the Mid-Atlantic region. So despite the clouds on Thursday, and I expect numerous clouds on Thursday, and again, some showers, especially north of the Mason-Dixon line. New York City could have several hour period of rain. Despite all that, temperature should jump up into the 60s with that low-level flow of air out of the southwest. And that warm front then moves to the north and east of here. And temperatures on Friday will be off to the races, both Friday and Saturday. Much cooler conditions confined at this time all the way up to the northern part of the U.S. But notice what's happening here. This is now the Friday morning forecast map. There's a strong high pressure system located by Friday morning over south central Canada, and it's extending all the way into southeastern Canada. That high pressure system plays a key role in the potential for a strong backdoor cold front to drop westward through New England and then through the Mid-Atlantic region on Sunday. A key to this is strong high pressure to the north nosing into the New England area by the latter part of the weekend. And here we are by Saturday morning. Strong high pressure showing up here in the south central part of Canada, extending all the way into southeastern Canada. Cold air already showing up with snow over Maine come early part of the weekend. This is now Saturday morning. Some pinks, some freezing precipitation up already in northern New England. Meanwhile, to the west, expect a widespread severe weather outbreak. First in the southern plains on Friday, then into the Tennessee and Ohio valleys on the day Saturday. All this associated with a very strong cold frontal system sliding eastward from the middle part of the country into the eastern U.S. So here, let's move forward here. Here we go. It's still a warm day in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City on Saturday. High temperatures 75 to 80 degrees up and down the I-95 corridor region. But much colder air already starting to show up in terms of frozen precipitation here over New England later in the day on Friday. And this is the time of the year for what I often call the dreaded backdoor cold front. Anybody who's lived in New England or any part of the northeast U.S. for a long time knows about backdoor cold fronts this time of the year, especially in April. We have still a very cold ocean just nearby, the western Atlantic, still very cold this time of the year. In addition to that, we have kind of a change in the atmosphere where upper level systems become stronger, both the highs and the lows, and more slow moving. And all of that, that combination of the ocean temperatures and the upper level features becoming stronger and slower moving tends to increase the chances for backdoor cold fronts this time of the year. And indeed, this will be one to watch, as again, it could drop from the 70s on Saturday, at least in places like New York City, to the 40s on Sunday, and perhaps as far south and west. It'll turn much cooler in D.C. and Philadelphia as well on Sunday, maybe the 50s in those regions here. But let's move forward here. Notice cold air continuing to show up here in terms of frozen precipitation by early Sunday, and by this time, northeast winds will be picking up, first in Boston, then in New York City, then in Philadelphia, and likely down into D.C. as well. And it'll turn much cooler on Sunday compared to Saturday. Now, if this backdoor cold front does not make it all the way down into, let's say, the D.C. metro region, they could have another warm day on Sunday. But clouds will be increasing. It'll be a windy day, and showers are likely in the afternoon. And then we're looking to this strong cold frontal system over the Ohio Valley come Sunday morning. That will slide slowly to the east, and it looks like a heavy rain event right at this time here, late Sunday night into Monday morning for D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Definitely a heavy rain event is likely in this time frame, even if it turns much cooler on Sunday. Now, there is also the chance for some strong thunderstorm activity. If in fact it does turn much cooler on Sunday, that may suppress that activity some, but heavy rain likely Sunday night into Monday morning, possibly some strong thunderstorms as well. Then we keep pushing forward here. Showers linger into the afternoon on Monday. Much cooler northwest winds. Highs confined to the 50s on Monday, and perhaps a struggle to reach 50 degrees in the I-95 corridor come Tuesday. And again, that strong northwest wind will continue to flow on Tuesday. A big change in temperatures. A big warm-up coming beginning Thursday and peaking on Friday and Saturday. Then a backdoor cold front could bring much cooler conditions to the I-95 corridor on Sunday. That colder air pouring in from the northeast to the southwest. First in Boston, then New York, then Philadelphia, then D.C., and then a conventional west to east moving cold front brings us a heavy rain event Sunday night into Monday morning. That could be accompanied by some thunderstorms and a much colder. The normal pattern sets up early next week. It looks like it'll stick around right through much of the remaining part of April. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.